like, we just feel for it because we know her granddaughter. Well, it's like I pick her up once in a while, and like, she'll always say, oh, Mike, you're such a sweetheart. And he's like, well, she's got you cool. They always talk about the school. Oh, yeah. My wife is swimming like
Sports presents high school basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Patriots Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Doan Ford, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Valentine Insurance, Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative, and Abel's Heating, Cooling, Electrical, and Refrigeration.
Good evening and welcome to high school basketball on ABC Sports as the John Glenn Little Muskies host the Tri-Valley Scotties in an MVL Big School Division showdown here at the Fish Tank in New Concord. I'm Dave Harriet along with my partner John Valentine. We've got all the action right here on Nash Icon 98.5 and 107.9 and also on the YRP TV YouTube channel. Tri-Valley enters the game tonight on a bit of a roll. They have won 7 of their last 8 games. John Glenn, though, they've won 7 of their last 9. JV, what do you think the keys are for these teams tonight?
Well, I think the first key for John Glenn is forget about game 1 because game 1 was a pretty big dub by
62-38.
I wasn't going to say numbers, but Tri-Valley handled their business at home for sure. Look, anybody can play with anybody on any given night. If you play good defense and if you rebound the basketball, limiting shot opportunities from the other team, you're going to give yourselves an opportunity to compete. So John Glenn, forget about that first game. We know what we do well. But got to be able to take care of the ball because you know Tri-Valley is going to be all over you on the defensive end, so you got to take care of the ball, put the ball in the basket.
And they've got to do the job in creating some turnovers. That's something that John Glenn has feasted on against some of the teams that they've beat recently. They've been able to create turnovers, but at the same time, they've got to limit their own because that Tri-Valley size and athleticism is a real problem for John Glenn because John Glenn, for the most part, pretty young in the backcourt.
Right.
You have sophomores, and you're playing against some very long athletic players in Tri-Valley and a very experienced Tri-Valley team that brings back everybody except one player from their district championship team from last year. So that's going to be something that's really huge for them. Can they handle that size and athleticism that Tri-Valley brings? And we're going to see that right off here in Noah Nichols, the Tri-Valley junior, and also in Terrell Darden. Every game that I see highlights of, I see dunks from those guys. So we're probably going to see something tonight. Noah Nichols is a great athlete. He's not afraid to put it down in traffic, and then Terrell Darden is off. He's capable as well. As you pointed out, JV, that first meeting, it was 18-7 after the first quarter. John Glenn did a nice job getting back into the game a little bit. They had a couple chances to get it under 10. I did that game over there at Dresden, and they just got to let it get away from them again right at the end of the first half. They were down 16 at half, 31-15, and that pretty much sealed the deal. Now, the other thing, as we look here late in the season, JV, we're talking about MVL standings implications tonight and also tournament seeding, as we were just talking about.
Yeah, the tournament seedings, if everybody has been paying attention in the state of Ohio, it's a little bit different now that they actually are going. It's a rating system. It's not the coaches that put in their votes at the time at the tournament draw. So it's ratings throughout the season. And as we speak right now, we had mentioned that Tri-Valley is actually number 2 in the East District, and John Glenn is number 6. So they're not real far behind. So those ratings are based on your wins, your winning percentage, your opponent's winning percentage, and then the third tier is your opponent's winning percentage. So you add all those kind of up, and then you come up with a formula to get you that raw number. So Tri-Valley's number 2. Maysville is number 1 in the East District. So this East District, as we expected, and as it usually is, lining up to be a real competitive district.
Yes, it will be. And then in the MVL standings, Tri-Valley leads the big school division at 9-1 overall in the MVL. Maysville right behind at 7-2. And guess what? Those two teams will meet next Friday, the 9th, over at Maysville in a game that's probably going to determine who wins the big school division. John Glenn also sitting right there at 7-2. So this is another big game for John Glenn tonight. If they can get the dub tonight, well, all of a sudden it looks like, you could have a 3-way tie at the top, and then Tri-Valley still got to play Maysville next week.
And John Glenn still has to play Maysville one more time as well.
Exactly, yes.
So we are not done yet with the MVL standings.
And thanks to all of our fine sponsors for tonight's broadcast, Doan Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Valentine Insurance. Hey, we got that guy with us right here tonight, too. Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, and Abels Incorporated, all sponsors of tonight's broadcast. We're on Nash Icon. We are also on YRP TV YouTube. Shout out to my wife. I know she's watching tonight, so at least we've got one viewer on the video side of things tonight, JV. So.
Well, she's probably got the volume turned down.
Yeah, she probably does, as a matter of fact. Now, last year, as we pointed out, Tri-Valley and a very experienced group, they were the district champs at 19-8, and you're thinking, well, 19-8, well, they play a lot of big schools. They schedule outside of this conference. They play a lot of D1 schools, and that's where their losses are coming this year. They lost to DeSales in the first game of the season. They lost to Hilliard-Bradley, but they turned around and they beat Upper Arlington, which is a huge win for Tri-Valley, and then they've got another one coming up Saturday night. They've got an MVL game Friday night, but Saturday night they are at Dublin Scioto. So there's another, one of those games that just gets you ready to play in the tournament.
Yeah, that's the reason you do it. You have to challenge yourself because the further you get in the tournament, the better the competition you're going to see. So, and it's not a knock on your own league, but when you have an experienced group and high expectations, there's no reason to continue to play the same teams over and over. You have to be able to challenge yourself. And, when you look at Tri-Valley's schedule, they've done that the last several years.
Yes,
so Coach McLaughlin's done a great job of building his schedule so that they can be competitive every night. And as you said, it's not like they're getting smoked by these D1 schools either. They're actually competing night in and night out. You look at John Glenn's schedule, however. John Glenn's lost 5 games. I was running some numbers here before we started. In those 5 losses, the 5 teams that they got beat by have a total of 53 wins on the season so far.
Well,
so their average team that they're losing to has 10 wins.
It's pretty good. And they also beat Marietta, who is 14-2 right now themselves.
Correct.
So, they've got a good win in there. So they've beat, they beat a good team in Marietta. They played some really close games. They lost to Garraway in overtime. So this is a team that, boy, when they're shooting it well, they are really hard to handle. But it's just that ebb and flow of having some young guys on the perimeter.
Yeah.
Some nights they don't shoot it very well. Other nights they do.
Yeah, they like to shoot it from deep, and that's been, no surprise if you've been watching John Glenn basketball for the last several years. They like to put it up. I think the key for tonight, really for both teams, is going to come down to obviously making some shots, but it's going to come down to turnovers and defense. Because both teams play an aggressive style, man-to-man, in-your-face, face guarding, denying the passes, denying the entries. They're going to be all over you on the defensive side. Tri-Valley only gives up 43 points a game.
Right.
So they are certainly going to be all over you defensively, but they also score 63 a game. John Glenn only gives up 49 a game. So something's got to give there. So John Glenn's going to have to continue to match that defensive intensity if they want to hang around tonight.
Well, we'll see what happens here. We're getting ready for the national anthem. So we are going to take a quick break. We'll come back, we'll do the starting lineups, and we'll be ready for the opening tip here at the Fish Tank in New Concord. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on AVC Sports.
At Abels, we're proud that so many people trust our family with their family's home comfort. I'm Russ Abels. For new heating and cooling, you can trust us to save you money with our high-efficiency systems. We're trusted for electrical work, lighting, outlets, generators, complete home electrical service upgrades. We do it all. And you can trust us in an emergency. Whether it's heating, cooling, or electrical repairs, we promise to do the job right. It's what we do for family, and it's what everyone deserves. Trust Abels.
I'm not buying till I check Down Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com. Each year, Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative provides an all-expenses-paid trip for 2 students to attend the Washington, D.C. Youth Tour coordinated by Ohio's electric cooperatives. Applicants must be a high school sophomore or junior and the child or legal ward of a Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative member at the time of selection. For a complete list of qualifications or to apply, visit gmenergy.com.
In your time of need, will you be happy with your cut rate car insurance? Will you have the coverages you need? Valentine Insurance is dedicated to protecting you and your family when you need it. As an independent insurance agency, we have partnered with many reputable insurance companies who even have local claims adjusters to provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
How can you select from insurance companies offering you lizards or ducks? When it comes to protection for your home and auto, you want a company that provides quality insurance products and personalized, fair, friendly claims service. WB Green Insurance represents Westfield Insurance. Their reputation is based on sharing knowledge and building trust. Westfield has been around the neighborhood over 150 years. WB Green Insurance welcomes the opportunity to quote your home, car, and business insurance. Don't be fooled by lizards and ducks. Call 439-1329.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
You're listening to high school basketball on 107.9, 98.5 Nash Icon, WILE Cambridge.
Back at the Fish Tank in New Concord, Muskingum Valley League basketball tonight. The Tri-Valley Scotties. Coach Todd McLaughlin's brought his team over here to face Eric Scheck's John Glenn Little Muskies. Our starting lineup tonight for the Tri-Valley Scotties. Number 2, a 6'3" junior, Max Lyle, and he's been having some ankle problems, so good that he's in the starting lineup tonight. Number 3, a junior, Brady Kaufman. Number 5, senior Terrell Darden. Number 11, senior Eric Neal, and number 12, a junior in Noah Nichols. That's the starting lineup for the Tri-Valley Scotties. For John Glenn, Caleb Larrick, a 6'6" senior. Number 0, number 2, CJ Dolan, he's a 6-foot sophomore. Nelson Cameron, a 5'7" senior guard. Number 15, Will Nikolazakis, he's a 5'7" junior. And Steele Bates, a 6-foot sophomore, rounds out Coach Eric Scheck's starting lineup. And Steele Bates, I always get a big kick. The officials are always making him tuck his jersey in, John, but there's just not much there for Mr. Bates to keep that jersey up. So he's a pretty slender young man. Caleb Larrick, big 6'6" senior, is going to jump center against Noah Nichols. And this game is underway, and the tip's going to go to John Glenn. Will Nikolazakis with the basketball. Over to Bates on the left side. Penetrates to the baseline. He's cut off, kicks it out, and that's going to be a turnover. John Glenn, first possession empty as they turn the ball over. Bates got to a spot he really couldn't handle it there, John.
Yeah, and tried to throw a cross-court pass. You're going to have to be able to come up top with that one, and just like that, turnovers rearing its ugly head already.
And Nikolazakis, he's going to be all over Brady Kaufman. That's one thing Nikolazakis really does well for John Glenn. He will pressure the basketball, and that's something they're going to try to do as a group. They want to get some turnovers. Neal flips it over to Kaufman. Kaufman now penetrates into the lane. Jump shot off balance, no good. Neal tips it, but Bates comes down with a rebound for the Little Muskies. On the run. They get it ahead to Nikolazakis. He pulls up, tries to dump it to Larrick. Ball is on the floor. Larrick goes down and gets it, kicks it out to Bates. Now in the corner. Dolan had it. Now over to Nelson Cameron. Back to the left side. Bates on the left wing. He penetrates to the free throw line, kicks it over to the corner. Dolan turned down the three-point shot and gets it back to Bates. Good possession here, patience here for John Glenn early. And I think they would like a lower scoring game than having Tri-Valley run the basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. When you got your opponent averaging 69 points a game.
Bates got into the lane, but it's stripped. Another turnover for John Glenn. First 2 possessions are empty. Darden dumps it inside to Neal. Lefty layup, no good. Rebound to John Glenn. Here comes Bates again on the attack. Still 0-0, 6.5 to go in the first quarter. Bates kicks it over to Cameron. 3-ball, no good. Rebound off to Darden for the Scotties. Darden harassed in the backcourt. Nick Lazakis going to pick up a foul. And that's our first foul of the basketball game. Nick Lazakis, his first and team's first. And I still got to change my mind, John. I'm still not used to that 5 fouls in a quarter becoming free throws.
It is a little tough to get used to, for sure.
Lyle triggers it inbounds. We said he's missed the last couple of games for the Scotties with an ankle injury. Cameron now, he's harassing Kaufman. Kaufman gets it out to Darden. He penetrates it, stripped from him, goes out of bounds. I think it's going to go back to John Glenn. I thought it was going to go to Tri-Valley.
Yep, looked like it to me too from here, but we are high above the fish tank.
We're looking down into the tank tonight, as you would say.
The official was a little closer than we were.
Nicholas Akis with the basketball, gets it to Larrick. Now a handoff to Bates. And they are harassing Bates, and he does manage to take care of it, and that's going to be over and back, I believe. Larrick did not get reestablished in the front court, and official Jose Davis right on the call. And as I mentioned to you earlier, I remember when Jose Davis was a player, and he was a pretty good one.
Yeah, not bad.
Kaufman again with the basketball, harassed by Cameron. Now into the right corner to Darden. Darden spin dribble. Pulls up, out to Neal. Penetrates into the lane, left-handed layup, this time off the rim again. Neal's got it in close twice, and he's missed both times.
Yeah.
It's still no score.
Yeah, and it had position both times. I don't know if Larrick's he's playing a little defense on him and adjusting that shot a little bit.
Bates penetrates now left hand. He'd like to get rid of it, and he does inside to Larrick. Larrick spin move. He dumps it off to Nick Lazakis. Nick Lazakis up and good. There's the game's first basket. John Glenn with the early 2-0 lead here. 5:12 left in the first quarter.
And Eric Neal plays pretty well inside, but I'd love to see Caleb Larrick get strong in there.
Darden takes it all the way into the lane, and nice find to Noah Nichols. And Noah Nichols, first basket for Tri-Valley, and we're tied as the clock rolls just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Cameron on the left side. Looked inside to Larrick, but Neal did a nice job defending him. Nick Lazakis with it now. Larrick's trying to set that high screen, and ball tipped away by Kaufman. Throws it ahead to Nichols, and here comes a dunk. Yes, sir, Noah Nichols with the two-hand flush, and I've seen him on film do that quite a bit. And the athleticism is something that, as a college basketball assistant coach, I really take notice of.
I bet you do.
Eric Neal now with the steal, and he's going to get stolen right back from him. Turnover begets turnover. Here comes Nick Lazakis. He kicks it into the corner to no one, and that's another turnover. John Glenn so far, JV, not taking care of the basketball.
As we said, that's going to definitely be a key to the game. Luckily, the score does not reflect that yet, but, geez, less than 4 minutes, and we're talking about 6 turnovers already for John Glenn.
Substitution into the game. Devin Crane in for Eric Neal for Tri-Valley. Get it ahead, Kaufman. He's going to get the three-pointer, and he had a wide-open look and couldn't get it to go. Bates with the rebound for John Glenn.
3 rebounds already for Steele Bates in this first quarter.
He's done a nice job of rebounding the basketball for John Glenn. Bates is averaging, he's got 4.3 rebounds a game coming in, so he's not afraid to get in and mix it up. Lanky young man, he's going to pull up in the lane. He gets the little runner to go, and that's his first bucket of the game. Steele Bates makes it 4-4 now, 3:37 to go in the first quarter, and we got some full court pressure from John Glenn. Cooper Briggs in the game as well for John Glenn, and he forces a turnover as Darden going to step on the sideline. And there's another turnover for Tri-Valley. Noah Winland into the game also for John Glenn. Coach Scheck told me Noah's battling a little bit of an ankle injury.
Well, so far, Max Lyle's ankle injury doesn't look like it's affecting him that much.
He looks like he's okay. Winland, he said, has struggled a little bit. Somebody else had been sick as well. So there's a 3-ball from deep, and it's no good. Winland And that's going to be an offensive foul, I believe, is on Larrick on the rebound. His first foul, team's second. No fouls on Tri-Valley yet to speak of. Keaton Hahn also into the game for Tri-Valley. Nichols high to go get it, and he gets it to his running mate in the backcourt, Terrell Darden. Darden, for lack of a point guard for Tri-Valley, is the ball handler of choice. That's the one thing this team missed in terms of graduation. Their point guard graduated, so really not a true point guard out there. It's kind of a point guard by committee for the Scotties. Darden seems to be handling the ball most of the time, though, for the Scotties.
Yeah, and you can tell, too, because 3 turnovers already here for Tri-Valley in this first period as well.
Lyle checks out of the game. Eric Neal back in for the Scotties. Nichols inbounds on the sideline, and it's tipped away by Bates. Here comes Bates on the run. He's being traced down the field, and it's blocked from behind. Nichols did a nice job of sizing him up, but still Bates back with the basketball. Spin move, dumps it off inside, up and no good. Rebound fought for, no good. That was Braden Davis that missed the layup, and now there's going to be a foul call in the backcourt, and that's going to go on Bates. 4 fouls now on John Glenn. Next foul, that mystical 5th foul here in the first quarter, result in 2 free throws for Tri-Valley. Inbound the ball to Darden. Darden fakes it, throws it up ahead. Tri-Valley on the attack. Neal's got it in the corner. He penetrates into the lane, kicks it out. Hahn does a nice job of penetrating. Another nice job all the way into the lane. That was Crane. Crane shot up, no good. Nichols fights for the rebound. He had an offensive putback, didn't go. Scramble on the floor, and that's an alternating possession. That's going to go to Tri-Valley. John Glenn had the opening tip in the basketball game.
A lot of bodies pushing around inside there on those missed shots.
We've got a lot of action for 8 total points scored here with 2.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Tri-Valley will inbound it underneath their own basket. Lyle will be the trigger man for the Scotties. Neal screened for. Now they're going to just throw it inbounds to Crane. Crane's got it out top. Now on the right side, that was Kaufman. Kaufman penetrates into the lane. Stops, looking for some help. Gets it back out to Crane. Crane now to Neal. Lefty penetrate. Gets it out to Lyle. There's your shot, the 3 ball. And it's an air ball. Maybe a little bit rusty from not playing.
Yep.
As Lyle, usually a very good shooter from the perimeter.
Looked like he had his feet set, had a good look at it.
He had a good look at it.
Moving to his right, maybe that wasn't real comfortable either since he's left-handed.
Maybe that's, that was, and there was a defender that flew out late, so maybe that did disturb him a little bit, but 4 apiece here, 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Nikolazakis over to Dolan. High screen from Larrick. Skip pass all the way over to Nikolazakis on the left side of the floor. He's looking at Larrick, but can't get it to him. Dolan with the basketball out top again. Left side to Nikolazakis. They get it to Davis. Davis penetrates in. Runner, no good. Davis fights for the rebound. He's got it up and in. Offensive putback from Braden Davis. And that's going to be a timeout from Tri-Valley of 30 seconds, so we'll keep it right here. John Glenn up 6-4. Minute 36 to play in this first quarter, John.
Yeah, good take there by Davis. Strong to the hole, missed the bucket, but he didn't give up, got his own rebound. Padding those stats a little bit, but didn't give up on it, put it back in.
Nikolazakis has got 2, Braden Davis has got 2, Steele Bates has got 2. That's the 6 for John Glenn right now. Noah Nichols has all 4 Tri-Valley points. Tri-Valley's had some good looks at it, John. They just have not capitalized here early in the basketball game.
Yeah, the 7 missed shots already for Tri-Valley. John Glenn shooting the ball a little bit better so far, but the turnovers for Tri-Valley has just piled up as well. They've got 5 turnovers to go along with 6 for John Glenn.
We've got to come up with a +1 player of the game, +1 pizza player of the game for John Glenn, and also a Lock 9 player of the game for Tri-Valley, so we'll keep that in mind as play progresses here. Tri-Valley on the attack. Darden all the way to the rim. Lefty layup up and good. Nice strong move from Terrell Darden. And that's his first bucket of the game. It's 6 apiece now. 1:15 to play in the first quarter. John Glenn on the attack.
Way too easy for an athlete like Darden to get to the hole.
Glob had the basketball over on the right side. Dolan kind of pushed out a little bit there by Lyle. Braden Davis with the basketball. Coach Sheck telling him to slow down, and that's going to be a foul on Darden out front. A little bit too handsy, and that's the first foul of the game on Tri-Valley. And it goes to Terrell Darden.
Little shoulder shiver, really didn't have to do it. He was out of position. There was no reason. He didn't get beat to the hole.
And he was dribbling away from the basket, so you really don't want to foul there.
Yeah, foul clear up by the volleyball line. Coach McLaughlin's not going to be real happy about that.
Bates has it now, less than a minute to play in the quarter. John Glenn, I would assume, is going to be happy sitting here at 6-all right now at this point in the game. Bates penetrates all the way to the lane. They're going to call a block. And that was on Lyle, I believe.
That's correct.
And that is on number 2, Max Lyle. His first foul, team second. It's a shooting foul, though. Bates going to go to the free throw line. Bates, a 71% free throw shooter, so you would imagine got a pretty good chance of getting at least one of these to go down here.
Bates pretty aggressive here in this first quarter, already with 1 bucket, looking at 2 more free throws here, and he's been aggressive on the boards as well.
He's got that point. He's got 3 in the game, 7-6 now. John Glenn with the lead. Bates going to get that second free throw. Dribbles it twice, looks at the rim, lets it fly. Rotation rattles in for Bates. It's now, he's got 4. John Glenn 8-6 leaders here with 42 seconds to play in the first quarter. Kaufman going to bring the ball up the court against some little bit of pressure in the backcourt, and they flip it around from behind, and that went right through the wickets of Nelson Cameron down there. A good play from Glob as he flipped it away and right through the wickets and out of bounds. So Tri-Valley keeps the basketball.
Larrick back in the game for John Glenn.
And that's probably a good substitution here as the ball's underneath Tri-Valley's basket. You like having your big senior post player in there when they're going to inbound it underneath the Tri-Valley basket. They're telling Coach Sheck he's got to get into some sort of coach's box. So
yeah,
there's Lyle coming off a screen. He was thinking about a 3, and he dumps it into Neal. Neal.
Big bodies going to work.
He was going to spin back to his left, but Larrick wasn't having it. And that had to be a travel, but it was not called. Darden penetrates the lane. It's no good. Rebound by Larrick. 11 seconds. John Glenn has a chance to get a bigger lead here. Now down to 7. Bates better get it in gear. High screen from Larrick. Bates back up, no good. 3-pointer off the mark. John Glenn, though, leads at the end of this first quarter, 8-6. We'll take a break. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
Save money and get peace of mind with secure file backups from ABC Tech. Lost or deleted files happen all the time, and it can be devastating to your business. ABC Tech backs up all your data from all your computers and stores it in the cloud securely. If you ever lose your data for any reason, we can restore all your files easily from backup. Right now, you can get 2 months of our cloud backup services free. There's no need for us to even come on site. We can set you up remotely and protect your files quickly and easily. Contact us today for more details and to get your first 2 months free. Call 740-432-5605 or visit abctechnicalservices.com.
Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative will be giving out over $7,000 in scholarships this year. Graduating seniors whose parents or guardians are members of Guernsey Muskingum are eligible to apply. Visit gmenergy.com for a complete list of rules and applications. The application deadline is Friday, February 2nd, 2024.
We're ready to start second quarter action here at the Fish Tank in New Concord. Tri-Valley trails John Glenn 8-6 at the end of 1. JV, you'd think John Glenn's got to be happy with that result, the way these last 4 games has gone with this team.
Are you kidding? Absolutely. Neither team really shot the ball real well, 33% compared to 27%. John Glenn the lead in there. But 6 turnovers for John Glenn, 5 for Tri-Valley. Been kind of ugly.
And there is a nice set play by John Glenn out of the end of the quarter. Larrick finds Bates for a layup. And that's going to be a turnover on the inbound. So John Glenn now up 10-6 and have the basketball back as they force a turnover right away there in the backcourt.
Yeah, an unforced turnover, really. There was no reason just to throw it down there. Just trying to speed up too much, the Scotties are.
Nicholas Zakis being harassed by Trey Goins-Chandler, who just entered the game for the first time for the Scotties. Dolan penetrates all the way to the rim, lays it up, no good. Larrick fighting for the rebound. It's knocked away by Neal. John Glenn will retain possession underneath their own bucket here. 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter, and it's a 10-6 basketball game.
Good look and good take by Dolan to get to the rim. Just too much on the finger roll to get her to drop.
They drop it into Larrick. He hands it to Bates. Bates wanted Larrick to roll, I think, and Larrick didn't go very far. Dolan skips it to Nikolazakis, and he traveled.
Yep.
And I think we have more turnovers right now, almost as many turnovers as points is what it feels like in this basketball game.
It's pretty close.
John Glenn with the pressure in the backcourt. Goins Chandler has the basketball, being harassed, and it's taken. Nice play by Dolan. Dolan, they tried to cross it over, and Dolan just took it. Nice defensive play and an easy layup. 12-6 now, John Glenn. Neal gets it to Goins Chandler. He penetrates in the lane. Hahn penetrates. Now Neal. Neal, he kicks it back to Nichols. Nichols penetrates deep down the lane. Up, no good. He basically threw it to himself off the backboard. And there's Will Nikolazakis diving on the floor. What a hustle play by Will Nikolazakis. And that is going to be a foul. I'm trying to see who they called the foul on.
That was on Winland.
They called it on Winland, okay. His first, what a great hustle play from Will Nikolazakis. I thought he had zero chance at getting the basketball and somehow came up with it. And that's one of those things that's a winning basketball play. That might get you that possession late in the game sometimes that you really need. And just great hustle from Will Nikolazakis. And there he is out there harassing on the perimeter. And that's what he does for this team. He is a defender, and he just creates turnovers. And there is almost a turnover as John Glenn knocks it out of bounds. That was Bates that time.
Well, so far the pressure turned up a little bit more by the Muskies here, and Tri-Valley's out of sorts a little bit.
They're doing a great job with it. 12-6, John Glenn on top. Lyle surveyed the offense. He penetrates into the lane, spins back to his left, tries to bounce pass to Nichols, and it's out of bounds. Another turnover, and John Glenn gets possession. Tri-Valley still has not scored, and we're almost down to 6 minutes to go. That's 2 minutes in clock time where they have not scored. High post to Larrick. He turns, I think he wanted to go diagonally to Winland. Instead, he hands it to Winland. He finds Nikolazakis, who knew better than to try to shoot that one over the tall trees. I think Nichols was right there wanting to try to block. Now Bates penetrates against Darden. Darden staying with Bates. Got to stay in front of him and almost created a 5-second count. Gets it over to Dolan. Dolan, right hand dribble to the right side. Tri-Valley intensity on defense has picked up a little bit for them as well. Darden, they switch, they get a turnover. Off to Lyle. Lyle lefty dribble. He almost gives it back. Darden penetrates all the way down, dumps it to Nichols down low. Up, blocked by Larrick. And here comes John Glenn as they get the basketball. Dolan has it up the right side of the floor. Over to Nikolazakis now. Nikolazakis penetrates, dumps it back out to Dolan. Dolan might have got fouled. I think he did get fouled. Yep. It was a little bit late call. They undercut him just a touch there, little contact, and that's going to go on Keaton Hahn. His first foul of the game. First foul here in the second quarter for Tri-Valley as well. Dolan is going to go to the line and shoot two. He's got a bucket this quarter. He got off that steal, and the free throw is good. 13-6 now, John Glenn. 5:10 to go until halftime. Tri-Valley stuck at 6 points. And you just get the feeling if they can get over the hump and get a couple to go through the rim, then that might just do it for them, get them a little run going here. But nice job there from Dolan, getting both free throws. It's 14-6 now, John Glenn.
Dolan doesn't get to the line much. That was only his 12th free throw attempt on the season.
He looked good right there shooting
Sure
them. Tri-Valley breaks the pressure. Darden now in a trap. He gets it over to Crane. Crane tried to find Kaufman underneath, but tipped away there by Bates and out of bounds and off the cheerleader. Tri-Valley inbounded underneath their own basket now.
And no doubt John Glenn is playing inspired defense. If you want to compete tonight, again, that was what we said in the intro. You want to be able to compete, you better pressure the heck out of Tri-Valley and play good D, and so far they are.
They're really doing a nice job. Nothing has been easy for Tri-Valley. Nichols tried to penetrate against Lyric, no room. Now they get it inside, they dump it back over to Nichols, and reverse layup up and good. Nichols has got 6 of the 8 for Tri-Valley now, and they've been all the close-in variety.
Great body control there by Nichols to be able to finish that.
Briggs got away with a travel there.
Yes, sir.
Over to Davis on the right wing. Davis trying to create off the dribble. He threw it right off of Lyle's back. Briggs now skip pass back to Davis. Davis 3-ball deep. Good! Braden Davis connects from deep, and it's 17-8, John Glenn. Their largest lead of the game is now 9. Lyle gets it to Nichols. Nichols in the corner. Bounce pass inside. Up to Darden. 3-ball on the way from Hahn in the corner. It's an air ball. Nichols, though, tracks down the rebound, kicks it back to Hahn. Nice pass there. Excuse me, that was Kaufman. Brady Kaufman. I got my players confused there. It was Brady Kaufman on the shot and also on that lay-in. And that's his first bucket of the game. Davis gets it to Lyric. Lyric has it taken from him. Turnover, but it's turned back over. Cameron, 3-ball off the rim. Noah Nichols with the rebound. He gets it to Lyle, and they throw it ahead. Here comes Tri-Valley, and I think they're going to call a foul on Nelson Cameron as Devin Crane tried to collect the basketball and go to the rim. And that is going to be on Cameron. His first foul. And is Crane shooting free throws, or are they saying it's on the floor?
Looks like it was on the floor.
Looks like it was on the floor, so it's going to go out of bounds.
And I don't think that Lyle is 100% healthy. He was gimping just a little bit earlier in this period, and now he's taking a seat.
He's missed a couple of games with that ankle injury, so Tri-Valley, that's an experienced player. He's been playing since he was a freshman, now in his junior season, so a junior with 3 years of varsity experience, and there's a spin move in the lane from Darden, and that is a sweet move, and he connects. 17-12 now, John Glenn. 3:10 to play until halftime.
Yeah, easier said than done, but man, that was a pretty easy bucket for Darden. You got to play a little D on him.
Braden Davis goes to the basket. A backdoor pass from Nikolazakis. Nikolazakis runs over along with Briggs to pick their man up. And that foul is going to go against Noah Nichols. His first. Braden Davis, who just connected on a three-pointer just a minute ago, he's going to get 2 free throws, and the first one is up and good. He's got 6 points now for the Muskies. John Glenn, 18. Tri-Valley, 12. 3 minutes to play until halftime. John Glenn has to be really happy about the way this has gone so far. Second free throw, no good. Knocked away from Nichols and almost stolen. Dolan does a nice job getting in the passing lane, but it's off him.
No Nichols so far, 6 points, 4 rebounds. Not much else going on for the Scotties.
Darden finally, he's got a couple buckets. Nice spin move there in the lane a minute ago. It's now 18-12. 2:55 to play until halftime. Nikolazakis, and he knocks it away from Darden, but Darden finally gets it across into the front court. Tri-Valley now attacks on the offensive end. Neal swings it over to Lyle. Lyle fires it underneath. He finds Kaufman. Kaufman with another bucket here this quarter. He's got 4. It's 18-14 now, John Glenn.
Good look and real good cut there by by Kaufman.
Windland tried to go to the basket and use a little spin move, and he was cut off. Back to Windland. Bates has got it out top. Lyric has yet to score for John Glenn, and he has been a major offensive threat for them the entire season. He's averaging 11.7 points per game. Dolan being harassed by Nichols. That 5-second count almost got to him. Nichols, well, that was kind of a cheap one there after all of the contact, and that's going to be Terrell Darden's second foul. Third of the quarter for Tri-Valley, and Darden will sit down now with those 2 fouls. He's the first player in the game with any sort of foul trouble. A lot of people have 1. Darden's got a couple. Nikolazakis now brings the ball into the front court. 2 minutes now with the clock moving until halftime. 18-14, John Glenn. Bates has it on the left side. Being closely guarded there. Nice job here defensively by Tri-Valley. Winland squares up, shot fake. Backdoor cut from Bates. Nice move. He tried to reverse, and it's blocked by Nichols. Nichols right there, a rim protector, serious athlete, and
just so quick because
he is very quick.
Bates had him an easy deuce, and man, the defense just came flying over.
Eric Chick's going to call a full timeout, so we'll take a timeout as well. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it's for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company from Iowa to offer liability coverage to package with their Patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today, 740-305-5121, and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
Dave Hilliard, John Valentine back at the fish tank here in New Concord. John Glenn, a surprising 18-14 lead here in the second quarter. As we were talking off air, JV, you're exactly right. Defensive pressure from John Glenn has been the difference.
Absolutely. They've caused 9 turnovers already for Tri-Valley. Tri-Valley just looks a little bit out of sorts. Usually that's what happens to the opponent when Tri-Valley's in the gym.
Exactly.
They just constantly pressure the ball, and they have to. John Glenn has their own 9 turnovers.
Yes.
However, Tri-Valley just looks a little bit more out of sorts than John Glenn does so far.
Out of bounds play, Dolan for the 3, and it's going to bounce off the rim. Winland fights for the rebound. He's got it. Kicks it out to Nikolazakis. Bates has got it now. 1:30 to play until halftime. John Glenn content to back it up, run a little clock, and be patient here in the late stages of this second quarter. Bates, they were looking at that back door. Winland cut to the bucket, but wasn't open, so nice job not trying to force it. High pick and roll now as Larrick gets involved on the screen. Ball flipped out to the right side and knocked away there. Keaton Hahn out in the passing lane. Knocked away that pass from Nikolazakis.
Yeah, if you're going to try to start your offense clear out at the volleyball line, you better make sure that those passes are crisp across the court when they're coming out to deny that entry.
You know it. Defensive pressure makes you get farther away from the
That's
basket.
right.
Nikolazakis thought about the 3, and maybe he should have shot it because he traveled. And there's yet another turnover for John Glenn. 58 seconds now. We've got under a minute. 18-14, John Glenn leads, and Andrew Glob will check in for Nikolazakis. Coach Sheck having a little teaching moment there with Nikolazakis. I think he would prefer he would shoot that when he has that kind of a look there in that spot in the basketball game. Hahn has it now. Gets it to Neal. They tried to get a handoff, but Bates did a nice job defending it. And there's a nice screen, and they got Noah Nichols opens, and he pays them inside. That's his 8th point of the game. It's 18-16 John Glenn. 32 seconds left until halftime.
You let him get that close to the basket, he's going to be able to finish.
If he gets it that deep, it's going in. Bates. He drops it off to Glob inside, and Glob up and in. It's his first bucket. Nice penetration and find there from Steele Bates. 20-16 now, 12 seconds. Tri-Valley trying to get one last shot here. Kaufman's got the basketball. Gets it to Nichols. Nichols, not much space there. Glob does a nice job. Neal penetrates into the lane. Step back jumper. It's good, right at the buzzer. And that's going to be Eric Neal's first bucket. And that's going to make our halftime score John Glenn 20, Tri-Valley 18. We'll be back with some halftime statistics and some more analysis from my man John Valentine here. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it's for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company from Iowa to offer liability coverage to package with their Patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today, 740-305-5121, and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
How can you select from insurance companies offering you lizards or ducks? When it comes to protection for your home and auto, you want a company that provides quality insurance products and personalized, fair, friendly claims service. WB Green Insurance represents Westfield Insurance. Their reputation is based on sharing knowledge and building trust. Westfield has been around the neighborhood over 150 years. WB Green Insurance welcomes the opportunity to quote your home, car, and business insurance. Don't be fooled by lizards and ducks. Call 439-1329.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
You're listening to high school basketball on 107.9, 98.5 Nash Icon, WILE Cambridge.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Hoops. Now here's your host, Eric Reeser.
Mike Breckenridge will be my guest. You can hear him on WQKT in Worcester. Mike covers boys and girls high school hoops and pretty much everything else in sports up in Northeast Ohio. My conversation with Mike covered a variety of things, but you'll hear us talk about the OHSAA expanding tournament divisions in several sports, name, image, and likeness in smaller colleges, and how, if at all, the transfer portal has affected high school athletes in the northeast corner of our state. That's next. This is the Ohio News Network.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
In Ohio, public education matters. And every day, Ohio's public school educators use their united voice to advocate for the supports and resources our public schools need so every child thrives. No exceptions. I'm Ohio Education Association President Scott DeMauro, and on behalf of our 120,000 members, OEA is proud to sponsor tonight's game. Because great public schools are a winning playbook for Ohio, and Ohio is stronger when we stand together to cheer for our students' success.
This is ONN.
I'm Eric Reeser. Mike Breckenridge is my guest. He covers boys and girls high school hoops in Northeast Ohio at WQKT in Worcester. I asked Mike his thoughts on the Ohio High School Athletic Association looking to expand tournament divisions among several sports, including boys and girls hoops.
I think most coaches are in favor of it. And when you take a look at it, it's probably inevitable that it's going to happen. When you have over 700 schools in football and you have 7 divisions, and you have over 700 schools in basketball and you have 4, well, how's that breakdown going to happen? And it's probably going to lean towards the football edge for the big schools. There's a lot less Division I schools in that bracket in football because of the population standard. And then after that, 2 through 7 is probably, pretty similar when you take a look at the number of schools in each division. I think the same thing will hold true in basketball. You're going to get the big of the big, and then everybody's going to come down and be even. But even though that will happen, I think the things that people are worried about, as I talked about, and you're getting the same type of schools that show up at the state tournament every year, and a lot of smaller schools are dominating. Lutheran East in D3, Richmond Heights in Division 4. They're going to be there year in, year out. And if they slip from D3 and D4 to D5, 6, and 7, people are going to be unhappy about it. But with the enrollment and even everything that's in there, nobody's ever going to be happy about anything. But I think it's inevitable that we do expand. If it does go to 7, I see at least 6, honestly, coming in the future.
I also asked Mike about the changes we've all seen in college athletics, like the transfer portal, name, image, and likeness, if those have crept into the athletic departments of smaller schools like Mount Union or Worcester. Mike says it's not really been the case. Many smaller colleges and universities don't have to deal with NIL inducements or mass exodus via the transfer portal.
It's still more pure, if you will. The movement is not there. Guys might step up a little bit in class or transfer, but it's not because they're being offered an excess amount of something else.
I was also curious to see if changes in college sports have had any ripple effects on high school athletes and how the recruiting process might be different now.
I haven't seen it in our area, to be honest with you, and we do talk to quite a few coaches around this area and all across Northeast Ohio. I haven't really got that in the high school ranks unless you're in the upper echelon, unless you're someone who draws attention from all parts when you get into college. And we don't have a ton of that in our area. If you can play Division III or Division II in any sport, no matter what it is, boys, girls, basketball, football, anything, you really excel, because I don't think people really understand the level for really good Division III and Division II. It's up there. And sometimes that's tough for parents to grasp. They think, well, their kid's automatically going to go to the next level. That's not the case if you go out and watch athletics from D3 to D2. And that doesn't play a part in it, I don't think, in our area. Only if you get the elite guys that are being recruited nationally might you get a little of something of that. And for us in our area, in pretty much our region, we haven't seen any part of it.
My thanks to Mike Breckenridge from WQKT in Worcester for his time. I'm Eric Reeser for the Ohio News Network.
It is halftime in New Concord. The John Glenn Muskies enjoying a 20-18 lead over Tri-Valley, and I should say a surprising 20-18 lead. We appreciate all of our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. Doan Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Valentine Insurance, Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, and Abels Incorporated, all sponsors of tonight's broadcast. And a couple others that are involved here. It'll be in our post game. We've got a +1 pizza player of the game from John Glenn that JV and I'll have to figure out who that is. And we also have a Lock 9 pizza player of the game from Tri-Valley, and we'll have to, again, establish who that will be here. Right now, I'd say leading candidates would probably be Noah Nichols for the Scotties, as he leads the way with 8 points. Maybe Steele Bates for John Glenn right now. He's had a pretty big effect on how things have been going right now. C.J. Dolan's got 4 for John Glenn. Glob's got 2. Nikolazakis 2. Braden Davis has got 6. Bates has got 6.
Yeah, Braden Davis off the bench gave him a big spark there in that second period. Missed a couple shots in the first period, but still
hit the 3. So
hit the 3. Steele Bates, though, carried him in that first period. Look, John Glenn, you can't ask really for a better half other than a couple turnovers they shouldn't have had.
Right.
Coach Scheck's got to feel pretty good about that first half.
Here comes the Scotties on. They get the ball first here. Brady Kaufman with the basketball. He's being harassed by Nikolazakis. Trying to get it to Nichols, but Winland is denying him the basketball. Good job there. Noah Winland playing defense. Lyle's got it almost stolen by Nikolazakis. Kaufman cut off on the drive, kicks it back. Now they're looking into Nichols. And Nichols is going to turn it over. Nice help there from Larrick as they double team Nichols. That's probably a good strategy, and Larrick creates the turnover. John Glenn with their first possession of the second half. Now Bates has got it on the left side, and he hands it to Nikolazakis. Going to reset the offense, looking to penetrate against Darden. Darden doesn't let him, though. And he hands it off to Dolan for a three-pointer, and it rattles in and out. Nichols with the rebound ahead to Terrell Darden. Darden with those definitive yellow shoes, and the ball is tipped away and stolen by John Glenn. Another turnover from Tri-Valley, and I'm sure Coach McLaughlin not happy about the start of the proceedings here in the second half.
Absolutely not. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers, just like the first half, or the first quarter went. Third quarter going the same way. So, man, I mean, they got to clean something up here. And again, Max Lyle coming off the floor for the Scotties.
He has not looked 100%. Nikolazakis with the basketball dumps it to Larrick. Larrick post move, and it crawls in the rim finally, and that's Larrick's first bucket of the game.
First shot of the game.
It is. I mean, averaging almost 12 a game, and that's his first basket, so Tri-Valley's done a good job there. And there goes Darden all the way to the rim. He lays it up and in and is fouled. Hooping the harm there for Terrell Darden. And that foul's going to go on Larrick, and that's his second foul, and that's something we'll need to keep an eye on there as the John Glenn big man with his second foul. Darden now with a chance to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. He's got 6 points now, looking for a 7th if he can get this free throw to go. And those yellow shoes do stand out for Mr. Darden.
That is for sure.
And he's got nothing but nylon on that one, and it's 7 points for Darden, and it's 22-21 John Glenn. Tri-Valley now with a little trapping defense themselves. Nikolazakis breaks it. He gets all the way to the rim, lays it up, no good. Partially blocked by Neal. Nichols has got it, and he gets it back, and now it's going to be a turnover. Bates has got on the floor, and Bates had the basketball. Coach Scheck calls a timeout, a 30-second timeout. Wise move to save possession there. 22-21 here, 6:13, barely 2 minutes into the second half. And it's a 30-second timeout, so yeah, we'll keep it right here. Jose Davis says that's a 30.
Gave him a few extra seconds. It took him a while to report that timeout. A little confusion. Talking to Coach McLaughlin over here. 3 turnovers already for John Glenn. I mean, at some point, they're going to have to start taking care of the ball. And it's not, just that they're all – it's that pressure, man. John Glenn's pressure on the defensive end is really causing a lot of issues. When you got Winland out there and Bates out there and Nikolazakis out there flying around, they're a little oversized.
And that's their MO. That's what they're trying to do is just create havoc. And they've been very good at it. In games that John Glenn has won this year, they have created a lot of defensive pressure with turnovers. Bates now pick and roll with Larrick. Larrick trying to post up against Nichols, and Nichols just will not have that. Nichols fights him off and pushes Larrick out. Bates now penetrates right-handed runner up, no good. Nichols with the rebound, another rebound for him, and he gets it to Darden. Darden gets it into the front court. Crossover dribble, and there's a trap. Spins it across half court, and it's knocked away. Winland comes up with it. He's going all the way to the rim, and that's blocked. Nichols, man, what a play he made as he came back and got the block on that one. Darden now skips it across to Goins Chandler. They get it to Nichols. Runner is no good. Might have got pushed a little bit. And here comes John Glenn in a hurry. Cross-court pass over to Bates from Dolan. Larrick trying to pick and roll again. Nikolazakis that time, no travel. Winland going to let the 3 go on the left wing. It's no good. Larrick had it. Couldn't get both hands on it. Nichols has the rebound. Here comes Tri-Valley. They throw it ahead to Darden. He's going to lay it up and in. Terrell Darden now with 5 points in the quarter, and Tri-Valley, first time they've been in a lead for a long time. It's 23-22. Under 5 minutes now here in the third quarter.
John Glenn taking 6 shots already. Have only been able to knock down 1 of them.
They've had a couple pretty good looks. That one from Winland on the perimeter was a good look. Nikolazakis behind the back. Good defensive pressure there from Tri-Valley. Windland penetrates. He's going to go all the way to the rim and can't even get it to the rim on the layup. And here comes Tri-Valley, and he traveled. Going, Samuel, yes, you did. That foot slid. That was pretty obvious. He tried to stop, a little bit out of control. He's frustrated with himself, but it happens. Mistakes get made in the basketball game.
What pressure does to you. You get sped up yourself instead of slowing down and taking your time. Speed you up every time.
John Glenn inbounding the ball on the sideline. Bates has got it. They now trail by 1. They had a 2-point lead at halftime. Bates dribbles to the right side. Now to the free throw line. He keeps his dribble. 3 ball on the way from the perimeter. No good. Larrick with the rebound. He lays it up. No good. Fight for the rebound, and I think that's going to be his 3rd foul of the game. And it is. That's going to be Larrick's 3rd foul, and that is huge here at the 4:02 mark in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that was just a little unlucky there, too. I mean, he missed the shot, got the rebound, and almost had another rebound, but just a little bit out of position. That's why he got the foul call.
Darden up the floor in a hurry, but he's cut off. Gets the ball to Crane. Now nice drive by Kaufman. He's going to lay that up and in. Nice move to the basket from Brady Kaufman. He's got 6 points, and Tri-Valley extends that lead to 3 now, 25-22. And Tri-Valley picking up the defensive pressure themselves. Darden covering Bates. Bates gets around him. Spin move from Bates. Throws it up, no good. Offensive rebound. Bates has got it. Kicks it out. Nelson Cameron, 3-ball, air ball. Davis has got it. Now Briggs from 3, and that's no good. A couple of good looks for John Glenn. They just can't cash in. And here comes Tri-Valley. Darden going to attack. Spin move. Pretty move. Terrell Darden. He lays it up and in, and that's going to be a timeout from John Glenn, a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it right here. All of a sudden, Tri-Valley trailing by 2 at halftime, 20-18. They have run off a 9-2 run to start this 3rd quarter. They now lead this one 27-22.
Yeah, real quick. And in spite of having 5 turnovers already in this period is Tri-Valley, John Glenn without a turnover, but just hasn't been able to hit their shots. They've been taking a lot of shots. A couple of the threes didn't quite look like the shots that Coach Sheck wanted. However, they've also missed a couple bunnies inside, so that's really hurt them there. Just the missed shots, the turnovers.
Yep.
You know, they've been taking care of the ball, just missing the shots.
Our sponsors again for tonight's basketball game: Zone Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Valentine Insurance, Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, and Abels Incorporated, all sponsorship of tonight's basketball game. We've also got a player of the game from John Glenn, sponsored by Plus One Pizza, and also a player of the game from Tri-Valley, and that's Lock 9 Pizza. A couple of decisions John and I will make here as the game progresses.
At some point, we have to be able to taste test this pizza, right?
I'm with you.
Or the hamburger that they show
the
on the
Wangus burger from Lock 9.
Come on, Lock 9.
That looks really
give us
good.
Some taste test here.
I think we've got the head man here tonight. Maybe we should get Joel Lasego on that for us, and we can have some Wangus burgers for the next game. Bates, a little bit out of control. He's shaking his head no for some reason on that one. And that's not the shot that John Glenn really wanted. Darden works inside, lays it up, no good. Rebound Kaufman. Kaufman tied up. It's going to be an alternate possession. That's going to go to John Glenn. Kaufman not really sure he got tied up. I'm not sure he was either, but that's the call. And it's going to be John Glenn basketball as they trail this one 27-22. 2:38 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, with 2:38 to go in the 3rd, if you would have told me Tri-Valley only has 27 points,
you'd think John Glenn was in it, and they still are.
No, it's only a 5-point game.
They've only scored a couple here this quarter. We will mention that JV game that ended up in overtime. And there is another turnover from John Glenn. That junior varsity contest went to Tri-Valley 57-55 in overtime. Exciting basketball game.
10-point game at halftime, wasn't it?
Yeah.
John Glenn came roaring back in that 3rd period.
Then Tri-Valley tied it at the end, and it went overtime. Tri-Valley won that JV game. I think this is a mismatch. Darden being guarded by Larrick, and Larrick just fouled 25 feet from the basket, and that is not what you want to do, Mr. Larrick. You can't foul somebody that's quicker than you are that far away from the bucket, and he did. That's 4 fouls now on Caleb Larrick. He's going to go to the bench. Braden Davis going to come into the game, and John Glenn just got a lot shorter inside.
Yeah, real quick. That's his 3rd foul in the period.
And I'm looking for Noah Nichols and Eric Neal maybe to have a heyday now that Mr. Larrick is sitting on the bench. Hahn penetrates all the way to the rim. He lays it up, tried to dunk it, but just ends up laying it in. And Keaton Hahn, he's got his first bucket of the game. It's 29-22. Tri-Valley with the lead. Bates penetrates all the way, lays it up, and he finally got one to go. They have not scored that's only their 2nd bucket of the quarter. And there they throw it ahead. Nichols on the run, and he lays it up and in. He's got double figures now for Tri-Valley. 31-24, back to a 7-point lead. And that was probably a foul, and I think he ended up calling the foul.
He called it a little late, but he ended up getting Kaufman the 2nd time.
It was a little late, you're right. That was Kaufman's first foul, though. And that's only the first one in the quarter on Tri-Valley. John Glenn has 3 fouls in this 3rd quarter, and they're all Mr. Larrick, I believe. Yes.
Caleb Larrick has 3 of them.
Inbounds now to Nikolazakis in the backcourt. He gets it across the big JG logo. John Glenn on offense. They've spread the floor. Nikolazakis tries to penetrate, hands it off to Bates. And I think they're going to call Kaufman because he's got his hand on him. And if you redirect the dribbler with the hand, that's pretty much an automatic call, and that's going to be Kaufman's 2nd foul.
Yeah, you can use your hand to regain your balance, as long as you don't keep your hand on him or use 2 hands.
And I think that was just the issue there.
That's
he
correct.
was redirecting him, and that's against the agreed-upon rules of the game. Steele Bates now with the basketball, being guarded by Terrell Darden. Over to C.J. Dolan. Crossover dribble, now to his right. Tries to get it to Windland, but could not. Now to Nikolazakis. Between the legs, nowhere to go. Hahn in good defensive position there. Nikolazakis still with the dribble, trying to find some space against Hahn. Braden Davis in the corner now. He's going to hand it to Windland. Windland's got some space. He goes to the rim. It's blocked by Neal, and it's going to go off of Neal and out of bounds. Eric Neal, nice job holding his ground in there, and he blocked Braden Davis pretty easily.
Little contact down low, though. Neal got him with the body, but no call.
Devin Crane back into the basketball game as John Glenn inbounds it underneath their own bucket. Windland tried to create off the dribble. He gets rid of it. Now it's Bates. Bates has been one that's been able to create with the dribble. He skipped past. Now Windland eyes a 3. It's up and good. A much-needed 3-point bucket for John Glenn. And they draw to within 4. It's 31-27. 8 seconds left in the quarter. 6. Clock moving. Skips it ahead, and it's out of bounds into the student section of John Glenn with 2.2 seconds left. Tri-Valley with a 4-point lead at 31-27. 2.2, you got a chance to catch it, dribble, and then let it fly. There's the catch, there's the dribble, he lets it fly. It's short. Dolan's half-court heave is no good, and that's going to end our 3rd quarter. Tri-Valley leads this one 31-27. We'll take a quick break. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
At Abel's, we're proud that so many people trust our family with their family's home comfort. I'm Russ Abels. For new heating and cooling, you can trust us to save you money with our high-efficiency systems. We're trusted for electrical work, lighting, outlets, generators, complete home electrical service upgrades. We do it all. And you can trust us in an emergency. Whether it's heating, cooling, or electrical repairs, we promise to do the job right. It's what we do for family, and it's what everyone deserves. Trust Abels.
Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative will be giving out over $7,000 in scholarships this year. Graduating seniors whose parents or guardians are members of Guernsey Muskingum are eligible to apply. Visit gmenergy.com for a complete list of rules and applications. The application deadline is Friday, February 2nd, 2024.
Fourth quarter action ready to get underway in this Muskingum Valley League basketball game. John Glenn entertaining Tri-Valley tonight. Tri-Valley with a 4-point lead as we enter this fourth quarter. It's 31-27. And there is a steal on the inbound. Nikolazakis lays it up and in. Will Nikolazakis converting a turnover, and now we've got a 2-point game just like that, JV.
Boy, much needed. They're going to need to put together a few more like that on the defensive end because offensively, not shooting the ball real well.
And Darden gets it ahead to Neal. He missed it. Noah Nichols with the rebound gets it, and I think there's going to be a foul called on the rebound. And that's going to be on Braden Davis. His first foul. A couple of point-blank misses for the Scotties in there as the score stays at 31-29. John Glenn dodged a bullet on that possession.
Couple bullets.
And they try to get it to Darden. He spun around Davis, but knocked away by C.J. Dolan. Good play there from C.J. with the help. And if I'm Tri-Valley, I'm trying to get it inside because I've got the advantage. I got Neal and Nichols down there. Neal has it. He's sizing up Davis. Lefty dribble. He's going to spin back to his right. Shot is up. No good. Nichols with the rebound. Up. No good. Davis fights for it. He's finally got it. Nice job there by Braden Davis. Here comes C.J. Dolan to Windland. Bates out top. Checked by by Kaufman. And it's a turnover, but it's going to be a turnover right back. Bates has got it back for John Glenn. And that's one of those, if you were Tri-Valley, you would like, hey, we got possession, let's keep it. But they threw it right back to steal Bates. Bates now to Nikolazakis on the left side. Bates out top, Windland. Bates trying to get around on the dribble. And he stepped up and under and took the shot. Nikolazakis finds a loose ball in the lane, and he can't get the short little bunny to go, and they're going to call a foul on Nikolazakis. And that is going to be his second. And team second of the quarter. And we're going to have a full timeout, so we'll take a break as well as Coach McLaughlin wants to talk things over here. Third quarter action, Tri-Valley leads 31-29. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
In your time of need, will you be happy with your cut rate car insurance? Will you have the coverages you need? Valentine Insurance is dedicated to protecting you and your family when you need it. As an independent insurance agency, we have partnered with many reputable insurance companies who even have local claims adjusters to provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
You're listening to high school basketball on 107.9, 98.5 Nash Icon, WILE Cambridge.
Fourth quarter action in this Muskingum Valley League basketball game. Tri-Valley clinging to a 2-point lead here, 31-29 as we've just got underway in this fourth quarter. Will Nikolazakis started off the quarter with a steal and a layup to cut the lead to 2, and that's where we stand right now, 31-29, 6:42 to play in the basketball game, and it's going to be Tri-Valley basketball. They've got to go length of the floor, and John Glenn intends to harass them right here, which they do in this full court defense.
As they have been all night.
Nikolazakis, he might have gets another steal, almost gets a steal. And there is a lot of contact, and that's a 10-second count. John Glenn gets what they want on the pressure, a 10-second call against Tri-Valley. Thought it was going to be a foul, but it's 10 seconds. Instead, John Glenn takes possession on their own end of the floor. And the inbound is tipped, and Nikolazakis eventually comes up with it. It was tipped by Devin Crane, and there was a mad dash for the ball. Nikolazakis won that battle, though. And he's now on the attack in the offensive end. Nikolazakis pulls up the dribble, gets it to Bates. Bates now surveys the scene. He went between his legs, now behind the back. Spin move. He used all his moves. Shot up, no good. Braden Davis, though, fights for the rebound with Nichols, but Nichols takes it from him. And here comes Tri-Valley. Darden. He's going to go to the rim. He might have been fouled on the way up. Nichols tried to dunk it on the way by on the rebound, and that was a flop job and a half from Braden Davis. Braden, there was contact, but you, young man, just flopped on the ground like a fish, and that's not going to get called.
No.
That's not going to get called. You can act as much as you want, young man, but that's not going to get called. Tri-Valley fortunate to hang on to the basketball. They've got the ball under their own basket and a 2-point lead here, 5:50 to go in the game. Nichols out top. Looks at Kaufman, now to Darden on the left wing. Darden looking at Nichols posting up. Kaufman's got it now. He goes to his right, gets it to Neal. Neal trying to create backdoor. Ball is tipped away, and it's going to go out of bounds off of John Glenn. C.J. Dolan almost was able to corral it before it went out of bounds, but could not. Nice backdoor cut there, but they couldn't get the man when he needed the ball in some space there, JV.
Yep, 19 turnovers already for Tri-Valley here. That should have been number 20.
Neal gets it inside, and he's going to lay it up and in right on the inbounds play. Eric Neal with his second bucket of the game. He's got 4. And that's a 4-point lead now for Tri-Valley, 5:19, and the clock moving here in the fourth quarter. I see Larrick coming to the scorer's table. He's going to check back in with those 4 fouls. They need him because they're going to need some rebounds down there. They haven't been able to secure those underneath the Tri-Valley basket, and they just keep crashing the boards. Nichols, Darden, Neal, all big kids, and able to offensive rebound. Dolan.
Nichols has 11 rebounds on the game. So, yeah, he's been cleaning them up inside.
Windland, nice backdoor cut, lays it up, and no good. Should have used the backboard. Here comes Tri-Valley on the run. They get it to Neal. Neal, it's blocked by Braden Davis. John Glenn controls it. They get it up to Dolan, and there's a foul, and it's up and good! C.J. Dolan with the hoop and the harm. He's got a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Great body control by Dolan to get Hahn off his feet, but then to be able to lean to the side just to get the shot off, let alone knock her in.
That's a great play from C.J. Dolan. He's got a chance to draw the Muskies to within 1. It's 33-31, 4:36 to go in the ball game. Dolan dribbles it, eyes the rim, it's up, and it's in and out. Rebound to Nichols. Who else?
Yeah, jeez.
He's got it. He gets it over to Darton. 33-31, 4.5 to go in the game. Brady Kaufman looks inside. Nichols has a much smaller man on him, and I'm going to be surprised if they don't take advantage of that one. 3 ball from the wing. Good, and that's the first three-pointer of the game, and it's from Keaton Hahn for Tri-Valley. And that pushes the lead to 5. It's 36-31, first 3 of the game. I just mentioned to you a minute ago they don't have a 3 yet. Nice move from Bates, and he can't get it to go. Shot fake, kept his pivot foot. Just unfortunate not to get that one to drop with Steele Bates. Tri-Valley now. Kaufman might have got away with a carry, but he gets it all the way down into the lane. He finds Nichols on the baseline. Nichols up. And there's going to be a foul on the rebound. I'm pretty sure is where that's going to be called. And it's going to go on Nelson Cameron, his second foul. And that is the 3rd foul of the fourth quarter on John Glenn. 5th foul makes 2 automatic free throws here. So they've still got 1 to give before they get free throws out of this. Tri-Valley inbounds it to Darden on the right side. Lefty dribble, crossover now. Gets it to Nichols. Nichols gonna spin move, jumps. Lots of contact, but Nichols powers right through it, lays it up and in. Noah Nichols, he's got 12 now. And the lead is 7, 38-31 for Tri-Valley.
Good no call, I think there. There's a little bit of contact, but didn't throw him off his balance.
And that's knocked away by Eric Neal. Nice help, and I agree with you, John. There was contact there, but not enough to really affect the play. I'm with you all the way on that one. C.J. Dolan back into the game for Braden Davis. 38-31. Boy, this is a must-score possession right here for John Glenn in this basketball game. Only 3:17 to go. They're down 7. It's 38-31. Nikolazakis, not much movement here from John Glenn. Now they finally get a little movement going. They try to throw it in there, and that's probably not a good idea from Briggs. He tried to force it, and it was just not there, and that's going to be a foul. That's going to go on Nikolazakis.
Yeah, real tough to get it. I like the idea, trying to get her in there, but man, it's tough to thread the needle when you got that many bodies inside.
Braden Davis will check back in for John Glenn. Briggs checks out. 2:58 to go. It's 38-31 Tri-Valley.
So that's 4 team fouls for John Glenn. The next one, Tri-Valley will be shooting 2.
His free throws. And that's an offensive foul. It's going to be on Hahn. Or excuse me, that's Kaufman. His 3rd foul. And boy, and also you've got possession of the ball. It takes the ball away. It's a turnover. You've got the ball, you're up 7. You're feeling pretty good, and then it's an offensive foul.
Right.
2:50 to go. Here comes Nikolazakis again. Gets it to Larrick. Larrick hands the ball to Dolan. Dolan penetrates. He's stopped. He finds Bates going to the basket. Shot fake from Bates. Up and under on the left side. Good job from Steele Bates. He lays it in. It's 38-33. 2.5 minutes to go. John Glenn looking for another turnover.
Going to have to turn that pressure up. Going to have to get that ball back, down 5.
Nichols has got it. He kicks it over to Max Lyle, who's back in the game for Tri-Valley. Darden now penetrates into the lane. He's going to go all the way to the rim. He's fouled. Darden couldn't quite get the layup to go, but he's going to go to the free throw line to shoot a couple.
And that'll be the 5th foul also, so regardless, from here on out, it'll be 2 shots.
Be 2 shots the rest of the way. Terrell Darden, he's got 11 points on the night for Tri-Valley.
And I believe that foul was on Nikolazakis, so that's his 4th.
That's his 4th foul. Coach Sheck's telling him, yeah, we got to have some pressure, but you can't foul right now.
Double-edged sword, right? You got to down 5 and no free throws pending.
Another minute, it won't really make a difference anyway if he does foul out.
Right.
Darden now, 2 free throws. First free throw, good. 39-33, 2:12 to play. Tri-Valley now with a 6-point advantage. Darden looking to make good on this second one. Looking for his 13th point of the night. Off the front iron, off the backboard, and in. Terrell Darden 2 for 2. He's 3 for 3 on the night from the free throw line. He's the only player for Tri-Valley that has shot free throws.
And he's knocked them all down.
And here comes Bates now. High pick and roll from Larrick. Darden with a nice steal. Comes up with it all the way to the rim. Spin move up, no good. Nichols follows, tips it in. Noah Nichols with the offensive putback. And now it's 42-33. It's a 9-point deficit. That's the biggest lead of the game for Tri-Valley. C.J. Dolan trying to make something happen off the dribble. Gets it to Nikolazakis. Nikolazakis finds Bates in the lane. Hands it back to Nikolazakis. He penetrates and the ball goes off of Max Lyle, and Max Lyle is limping again. He's going to come back out of the game. Got to appreciate the kid's trying to fight through an injury. He hasn't played in a couple of games. Obviously not himself, and he's in a little pain there. Inbounds play. Dolan caught it. Couldn't get the three-pointer off. Good defense from Hahn. Hahn follows him into the lane, is blocked, and he saves it inbounds. Nice play, and that's going to be Will Nikolazakis' 5th foul as he tried to draw a charge, and he just fouled out of the game. And that just might have sealed John Glenn's fate in this game. It's 42-33. Nikolazakis is fouled out. Minute 22 to go. Brady Kaufman at the free throw line looking to extend this lead into double digits for Tri-Valley, a place they have not been the entire evening, and the first free throw is no good. 42-33. John Glenn needs a miracle at this point, JV.
Yes, sir. Game certainly not indicative of what the score says right now.
Eric Neal fights and gets an offensive rebound on the miss from Kaufman. And boy, that's a big mistake there. Braden Davis didn't get the job done on the block out. And that's going to be offensive rebound, and Tri-Valley calls a timeout, calls a full timeout. It's late in the game. We'll keep it right here. It's 42-33. And again, our sponsors of tonight's broadcast, Doan Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Valentine Insurance, Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, and Abels Incorporated. And also we've got a +1 pizza player of the game and a Lock 9 pizza player of the game. The JV and I will have to decide who that is in the postgame. Hoping to have some coaches' comments tonight as well. The victorious coach has promised a visit, but sometimes those things don't happen. So we'll see how that works out. We certainly would like to get some coaches' comments in our postgame show as well. It's 42-33. Tri-Valley has pushed the lead that was 4 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter at 31-27 to 9 points as we stand late in this basketball game. There's a minute 19 left, and they have possession of the ball. And if John Glenn was going to get a miracle, JV, they needed that rebound right there.
Yeah, that was big right there. And, you know, it's just going to be so tough. Down 9 with only 1:19 to go and with no fouls to give. So
right.
John Glenn's going to be shooting the rest of the way.
Yeah, Tri-Valley's got 2 free throws the rest of the game, and they're going to throw it deep to Noah Nichols. And he gets it across court, and Kaufman's got it over to Darden. John Glenn is at the point they need a steal or they're going to have to foul as the clock rolls down to almost a minute. Darden penetrates. Smart play there as Tri-Valley kicks it back out. They're content to play some keep away. Eric Neal's got the ball. Flips it to Hahn. They get it to Kaufman underneath the bucket. Thought about a shot over Larrick, but decided against it. Bates harassing Darden. And the clock's going to run out here. John Glenn needs to foul, and they have just not got it done. They finally get a trap in the corner. Tri-Valley again playing keep away. Still Bates finally has the foul. 37 seconds, and an awful lot of time ran off that clock right there.
Yeah, it's probably a moot point anyway, but, you know, with only a minute 19 to go, down 9, you may as well just foul them right away and make them make their free throws.
If you didn't get that steal, foul right away. If they miss both and you can come down and hit a 3, you're still in the game. But they let a little bit too much time roll off the clock there, and Terrell Darden, who's looked very comfortable at the free throw line as he makes another one.
Nice soft shot, nice rotation. Looks just real smooth out there.
43-33, 10-point lead for Tri-Valley, 37 seconds to go. Larrick checks out of the game for John Glenn. Second free throw up and good. Terrell Darden 5 for 5 from the free throw line tonight. He's looked very comfortable up there. Here comes Bates. 30 seconds, hands it to Briggs. Bates couldn't get the three-pointer off. Now Dolan lets it go from deep, and it's no good. Rebound, deep rebound. Fight for it, and John Glenn going to come up with it. And they throw it ahead, and it's out of bounds. Knocked out by Hahn. He did a nice job getting in the passing lane. Only 17 seconds left. 44-33. Tri-Valley going to get out of here with a W. As they came in 12-3. They're going to run their record to 13-3 overall and 10-1 in the Muskingum Valley League. John Glenn, they're going to drop now as they have played very well of late. And there's a lob to Larrick. Larrick couldn't get it. Shot from the corner. That's his first three-point attempt of the season, by the way. Tri-Valley with the rebound. They get it to Darden. Darden kicks it back out to Kaufman. They're going to play keep away and to run the clock out, and that's going to end it here. Tri-Valley defeats John Glenn 44-33 in a very hotly contested basketball game here at the Fish Tank in New Concord. We'll be back after we take a break to wrap everything up here from New Concord. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
Save money and get peace of mind with secure file backups from ABC Tech. Lost or deleted files happen all the time, and it can be devastating to your business. ABC Tech backs up all your data from all your computers and stores it in the cloud securely. If you ever lose your data for any reason, we can restore all your files easily from backup. Right now, you can get 2 months of our cloud backup services free. There's no need for us to even come on site. We can set you up remotely and protect your files quickly and easily. Contact us today for more details and to get your first 2 months free. Call 740-432-5605 or visit abctechnicalservices.com.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it's for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company from Iowa to offer liability coverage to package with their Patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today, 740-305-5121, and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
In today's marketplace, you have many choices for insurance. WB Green Insurance, a representative of Westfield Insurance, is committed to providing you with excellent coverage for your home and auto at a fair and competitive price. Westfield has been in the neighborhood for over 150 years, providing peace of mind and quality insurance products through independent insurance professionals. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield's pledge to their customers. Call WB Green Insurance today.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is, when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
You're listening to high school basketball on 107.9, 98.5 Nash Icon, WILE Cambridge.
Back in New Concord, wrapping up tonight's Muskingum Valley League basketball game. Tri-Valley came over to New Concord tonight and are going to leave with an 11-point victory, 44-33. A very hard-fought and hotly contested game here, as you would expect out of two neighboring school districts. Kids know each other. It's a good rivalry game. Good crowd in here tonight on a Tuesday night, which, you know, through the week, sometimes those crowds is kind of tough, but a good crowd in here to see this one tonight. Tri-Valley struggled for most of the game. John Glenn off to an 8-6 lead at the end of one, and they took that 2-point lead into the locker room at halftime, 20-18. At the end of the third, though, Tri-Valley owned a 4-point lead, 31-27, but a steal and a layup by Will Nikolazakis. We had a 2-point game, first play into the fourth quarter. At that point, the game could have gone anyway, but Tri-Valley with a decisive fourth quarter. John Glenn had a lot of trouble getting the ball in the basket in the fourth quarter, to be honest, and that was the deciding factor in the game. I'll go through some scoring, and then I'll turn it over to John here for some statistics here. And with that scary field goal percentage, that's going to be tough here. For the victorious Tri-Valley Scotties, Brady Kaufman had 6 points. Terrell Darden had 15. Eric Neal with 4. Noah Nichols with 14. Keaton Hahn with 5. Caleb Larrick for John Glenn had 2. C.J. Dolan with 6. Andrew Glob with 2. Noah Winland with 3. Will Nikolazakis with 4. Braden Davis with 6. Steele Bates with 10. And we are joined by Coach Todd McLaughlin here in the postgame. Coach, Appreciate you coming up to talk with us, and congrats on a hard-fought win tonight.
Absolutely. You know what? I have to give John Glenn a lot of credit. That's not the same team we played earlier in the year. They're much improved, and I have to give a lot of credit to Coach Sheck and the way he's doing with those guys. So hats off to them for their effort tonight.
I thought their defensive pressure really gave you guys some problems tonight, and I'm sure that's something that you're going to try to fix.
Oh, absolutely. You know, like I said, we were down a couple guards, but that's not an excuse. It's got to be the next man up. And we just got to do a better job of valuing the basketball and possessing it. And, you know, sometimes we get loose with it, and our kids want to run. But obviously, when you turn it over like we did tonight, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, you've got to be able to win both kinds of games, ones that run up and down, and then those slow down defensive games where there's not many points scored. And you were able to do that tonight with a nice defensive job. You guys did a very good job yourselves defensively here in the second half.
Second half was much better for us. Our effort was way better, just getting out and pressure them a little bit. But, you know, first half, I'm not sure where our guys were at. We're just kind of in la-la land, but they cannot come into games with that type of mentality. We've got to be much better, much tougher from that standpoint.
Well, we'll ask you to look a little bit here in the future, because Friday night you've got another MVL game in Philo, I believe, and then Saturday you play Dublin Scioto.
Absolutely. You know, 2 tough games back-to-back. You know, Philo, they shoot the ball really well at their place, and then we have to turn around and play an OCC team on Saturday night. It's very talented. They got a couple really decent scorers, so it's going to be another big challenge for us.
And then, I know you don't like to do this. I'm a coach too, but another week away is Maysville.
Yep.
And that's going to be probably the game that's going to decide who wins the big school division in the MVL.
Yeah, possibly. Like you said, as a coach, you know, I'm one game at a time. You know, we're gonna. It's always tough to win.
Trying
at
to
Maysville.
get you in that trap,
no,
Coach.
Yeah, it's always tough to win at Maysville, and Coach Brown does a great job with his kids. So, you know, we got to focus one game at a time. We got to fix our own issues right now and try to get better each and every day.
Well, one thing that I was really impressed tonight, and your kids rebounded. Noah Nichols was just a man tonight. He had 14 points, and he had the same number of rebounds. 14 points, 14 rebounds. At least our unofficial stats up here. So you got to be really impressed with what he did for you tonight.
Absolutely. He is a beast. You know what? He's somebody who just brings the energy each and every night. He's a special player, and he keeps getting better every day. I mean, he's the guy that's going to play at the next level somewhere. You know, he and Terrell.
I hope it's at Muskingum.
he and Terrell Darden both stepped up big for us tonight, and you know, you have to give those guys credit. And obviously, Terrell's and being a senior, you know, we expect that from Terrell.
Right. Well, Coach, we really appreciate you joining us here in the post game, and the best of luck to you in these games coming up. I know that Scioto game is going to be a good one for you this weekend.
Sure.
Just going to help you get better for the tournament.
Absolutely, we hope so, and that's why we try to schedule some of these, you know, Columbus schools just with a little more athleticism. They see a different level of basketball every night than what we're kind of accustomed to. But you know, hopefully, it helps us improve for down the road.
Great. Appreciate you being with us
Absolutely.
tonight,
Thank
and
you.
good luck to you.
Congratulations,
Thank
Coach.
you. I appreciate it.
Coach Todd McLaughlin from Tri-Valley joining us here in the post-game tonight, and I'll hit the sponsors one more time here. Doan Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Valentine Insurance, Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative, WV Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, and Abel's Incorporated, all sponsors of tonight's game. JV, I went through the points, so hit us with the stats there, the shooting statistics.
Well,
I'm interested in that
you
one.
had mentioned the big stat of the day, really, Noah Nichols. You talked about the 14 rebounds. You know, when you're down, as Coach McLaughlin said, down a couple guards, you could certainly see that. 20 turnovers.
Right.
But because they were down some bodies, you had to have somebody step up. And Noah Nichols absolutely did that with the 14 boards. And obviously putting the ball in the basket as well. And you could also see it on their shooting side, too, because they only took 4 3-point shots the entire game.
Exactly, yeah.
So, you know, how many times do you see that at the high school level, let alone a team like that? But, when you're down some guards, that'll happen. So, from a shooting standpoint, again, the first half was pretty even. That third period, even though the score was only a couple points at the end of the third, that third period, from a shooting perspective, was really what got Tri-Valley back in the game. They were 6 of 8 from the floor in the entire third period. However, John Glenn was 3 of 17, and that translated or compounded even in the fourth quarter because John Glenn did not shoot the ball real well in the fourth quarter either, just 27%, 3 of 11. But Tri-Valley was able to put the ball in the basket a little bit more. Overall, neither team shot the ball real well. Tri-Valley only shot 44% combined. But they did make 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Darden made all 5 of his free throws, so that was huge. John Glenn, on the other hand, only shot 30% total for the game, and 2 of 15 from beyond the arc. Now, a couple of them were late, right, trying to get back in the game. I get it. but they did not shoot the ball real well. And that, if they would have shot, we talked in the pregame, if they rebound, if they play defense, they're going to give themselves a shot. And if you just look at that, they absolutely gave themselves a shot. Now, add one more layer to that, shoot the ball a little bit better.
You got to make some shots, too.
Right? And so that's really what it came down to, because they had Tri-Valley out of sorts.
Yes, they
Turning
did.
the ball over, not shooting the ball really well, and gave themselves an opportunity, but, man, just couldn't put the ball in the hoop to be able to get the score a little bit closer. But a great effort by the Muskies.
Well, we'll talk about our last thing we need to do here. Our +1 pizza player of the game for John Glenn. I think we decided on Steele Bates was our +1 pizza player of the game.
Yeah, Steele Bates really carried him for that first half, and I had him with 4 rebounds and 10 points overall, so led the team in scoring as well as rebounding.
And then our Lock 9 pizza player of the game for Tri-Valley, obviously, Noah Nichols, 14 points, 14 rebounds. I mean, we could have taken Darden as well, but 14 points, 14 rebounds, a double-double.
Yeah.
Nice solid numbers there for Mr. Nichols. So he is our Lock 9 pizza player of the game. Again, we appreciate everyone that tuned in via radio tonight or even on video on our YouTube channel. We certainly appreciate you tuning into the basketball game. John and I certainly enjoy being here and bringing it to you. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, John Glenn, they fall to Tri-Valley. Their record now 10-6 overall. They're 7-3 in the MVL. Final score tonight, 44-33, as Tri-Valley runs their record now to 10-1 in the MVL and 13-3 overall. For Dave, I'm Dave Hilliard. For John Valentine, have a good evening, everyone. You've been watching and listening to high school basketball on MVL Sports.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.